here we go. Hey, how are you? Hello, hello. This is Pablo Arias with International Relocation Partner, and this is the Expat Community Podcast. Today we had Sarah Elena with us, but she called in sick early this morning, so we decided to continue and to, answer any questions you guys may have. We're doing every Friday. We are trying to do a Q&A session. And I know a lots of people have questions. I mean, if you're looking to move abroad, you may have questions about what's to live there, what's to live in Costa Rica, what's the lifestyle, what are the requirements for some of this stuff. And it's always a good idea to ask questions and to inform yourself. So if you have questions, please go ahead and type those in the comments. We'll be happy to share the questions. We'll be happy to answer the questions. And remember, these are just opinions. These are just my personal opinion based on my experience helping people move and relocate to Costa Rica. My professional trade and my expertise is in international shipping. But my company has been focusing on expats only. And it's been 14 years since helping the expat community. And I have seen it all. I have seen people, they wanted to move to Costa Rica, and I have received all the different reasons, excuses, or motives why people didn't make it. I have seen people being making the wrong decisions. I have seen people losing a lot of money, like literally hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars in the wrong decisions. And I think I have a lot to say and a lot of answers for you guys. If you guys have questions, we'd love to elaborate on those. And we'll be doing this type of Q&A every Friday. That's the idea, to have a little, a few 10 minutes, 15 minutes, a little space for you guys to to ask your questions, and for me and Sarah Elena to help with some of these answers. Hey, we have a little comment here. I don't know if everybody can see, but this is in the YouTube channel, Moving on December. So that's great. Now, this is, what is the best way, not a container? Now, this is a good question, and I think I'm very qualified for this. Lindrock, thank you so much for your question. Now, before I get into this, please share, use this opportunity to share with others that we're doing, this service to the community. I feel there is a lot of need for more information that is legit, a lot of information that is current. A lot of the things you see out there is just on a website that somebody put together a decade ago, or maybe you saw a book that is somebody made this book a decade ago, and how good is that, So we're doing this live, and we're giving perspective and opinions and answering questions based on what's happening, what's good today. So if you have, if you like to help us, please share this with other people. Like, subscribe, share it in your favorite expert group, and we'll be happy to train. And believe me, the more people is asking questions, the better, because we all can learn a little bit better. Now, depending on where you are, Lindrock, in order to answer this question, it just really depends on where you're located. So what is the best way to move a few boxes? The absolute best way for me is, if I was doing it myself for just a few boxes, is to pay for the extra luggage or cargo space that they allow you when you're flying into Costa Rica. That's the very best way. Why? Because anytime you go into a formal shipment, if you hire a company, if you hire, let's say, UPS, FedEx, any cargo company, they have to do a formal customs process. They have to. So from Miami to Costa Rica, the transit time oftentimes is not as much. I mean, it takes a week. Ocean cargo, maybe 2 weeks. But when it gets here, then Panama City, that's another story. But anyway, it's kind of like a very similar question. I mean, the very similar is a very similar answer. Anytime you ship anything, you have to follow the rules and the requirements of two entities. In the United States, you have Homeland Security, Customs, and in Costa Rica, you have, in Costa Rica or Panama, it's the same. you have also customs. So if you want to avoid all the red tape, you just minimize the red tape, make it as simple as possible. Just buy yourself, big plastic containers. I think it's 26, 27 gallon plastic bins. They sell those at Home Depot, Walmart. Um, so it's a black plastic, container that has got a yellow lip. It's very popular. You can buy this at Costco, PriceMart, Walmart, Home Depot, and that's about the size of a of a luggage. It's about the size of the mid-size luggage. And some airlines are gonna give you up to 7, 8, especially if you do first class. If you do first class, you have the limit is goes into 10, 12, way more. um, Nevertheless, even though if you don't do first class, you have the small plastic bin. You can do 5, and that's about 1 cubic meter, which is a pallet. You won't believe how much you can carry on those things. 9 out of 10, when you land into Panama, when you land into Costa Rica, when you land anywhere, you are not gonna get inspected because it's your personal luggage. So you just go through it. If you get inspected, you may have to show your passport. They stamp your passport. They give you up to $500 to go through the airport with these things. So if the values of these contents are less than $500, they're not gonna make you do a formal customs clearance process. If your items are way more expensive because it's very obvious that you have these things full of new items, then you have to pay import taxes. Then hire a local customs broker. I'm happy to refer one to you in Panama if you need one. But that's if then you have the possibility of having to file a customs declaration. So to me, that's the very best way to go about it. Then the next step, will be, if it's a very small, very little shipment, there are now services that provide a per pound, but these are for very light, usually for your Amazon purchases, usually for small purchases. Then you can buy your things online, forward those into a warehouse in Miami, Florida, and these companies consolidate this and ship this air cargo. And if they fly to Panama and they fly to Costa Rica, literally once or twice a week, and it's usually about, depending on the country, Panama is about $3 per pound. It depends on the company. Some companies are going to charge 5. Costa Rica is more expensive because of the import taxes and some other things, but Costa Rica you could be looking at $11 per pound. But because it's per pound, if you do one plastic bin, it's just going to be too expensive, way more expensive than dealing with the airline. And then if you want to move into bigger items, you do a pallet. We can handle a pallet from Florida. For that, we can offer a free consultation call. It takes about 20 to 30 minutes because we really need to sit down and explain the rules, the requirements, and the regulations to ship into Panama. Because Lynn happened to be asking about Panama, so our audience in Costa Rica is going to learn a little bit about Panama. Panama has a lot of tax incentives. You should not pay import taxes. If your shipping is worth less than $300, you only have to pay $3 for an entry fee for the customs broker system. So there's a lot of benefits in Panama, but you have to have your immigration at least in process for that. It's different in Costa Rica, so I don't want people to mix this stuff. I have John Miller here. He is from looking to move and doing things in Costa Rica. So I don't want to mix these things up. And this is why it's so important. I mean, there's a lot of information online, but some of this is very old, and these things change, and this stuff changes every day. So same thing with customs in Panama, customs in Costa Rica, customs in Mexico. These things change all the time. So it's always important to sit down, regardless if you don't use our company. I mean, I don't care. I do care about you guys be able to have a good experience. So if you want to have a good experience, you need to sit down with an expert to whatever country you're shipping into. If it's Costa Rica, Panama, Mexico, the countries we service, we will be happy to offer you 30 minutes to an hour of a consultation call. And now let's talk about your case. Let's talk about what items do you have in your shipment. There are some items that would trigger red flags in customs. There are some items that would trigger additional processes in customs. There are some items that you don't want to ship depending on the destination and depending on even, so there's a lot of moving parts to this that are specific to your life. This is why it's important to sit down and do a consultation call with an expert. If you reach out to a company asking for a quote and they just send you a quote expecting that you know these details, then I think that's the beginning of the bigger issues, because no company could tell you up front what you really need if they haven't sit down with you and spent a good 20-30 minutes listening and understanding and asking the right questions, so we can provide a good advice and we can provide a quote that really covers with all your different needs. Now we have John. You're helping John. He's moving from Florida, Tampa, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm mistaken. Remember, we do around 66 shipments. We manage around 66 shipments to Costa Rica. So just Costa Rica. So plastic heavy duty pallets are better than wood, right? To me, this is a good idea because you overcome some of the issues with wood. Some countries may require it's called certificates. So a wood pallet has to be certified for international shipments. And therefore, oftentimes I get people, hey, Pablo, I already have the pallets. They're here in my garage. I made the pallets myself. I made this. So even wood boxes, wood crates. And people, oh, yeah, I got everything packed. It's in a wood crate. That's not good for international shipments. There is an international agreement that forces any shipper into using certified wood, and that's an additional requirement. Now, plastic, you don't have to meet this criteria. So yeah, I think it's good. Pallets are good. Now, it depends, John. The other question, does the inventory needs to have every item listed in every box? It just depends on who you're dealing with, the customs broker. And I'm talking specifically for Costa Rica. For us, if you give us a good description, that's enough for our company in shipping to Costa Rica, because we take that description and we also do a pre-inspection, meaning that we make sure everything matches. So when the shipment lands, we go box number one, yes, it's kitchen supplies. But there are other brokers that will ask you a very detailed description of every single nail, anything that you have in the box. Now, if you want to talk Panama, if Lindrock is listening, for Panama, you could be a little bit more general. You just have to have a list that says kitchen supplies for one box, and the next box could be something else. But for Panama, you have to add a little value right next to it. Just remember that the value that they allow to import, the value, depending on the value, they may charge import taxes or a different fee. If you go over $300, from $300 to $20,000, then it's import tax free, but they have an additional fee. So there are different things depending on values. There are different maybe added fees. So you may not want to go crazy on those. Now, before we continue, I want to show you something. We have been working, International Relocation Partner has been working with other expat leaders within the community. This is called theexpatcommunity.com. So, my business is my business. I do international shipping and I provide advice for the expat community. But we wanted to launch and get together with other expat leaders to provide value, to provide information, to help you guys make this transition better, easier. So we partnered with people like Elena. She's great. She offers a great program where she can teach you step by step how to move to Costa Rica. And in Panama, we partnered with Retire in Panama, Oscar and Rod. Great guys. They have this relocation tour. You go with them. They spend with you a week or 2 weeks. And they show you every town. Okay, let's go to Panama City, then let's go to Coronado, then let's go to Boquete. And they show you around. In the transit of those, week or 2 weeks, they will talk to you about the rules, requirements, the immigration, the contacts, all of that. So retire in Panama. We also partner in Panama with VIP Relocation Tours. That's Mike Kelly, another great guy. He's also have a good big expert group in Facebook where you can make questions. So we're working on this partnering to provide free services and free information for you. Make it an organic community. Not no, I mean, not really for like profit. It's a good idea if you connect with them and that you do business with them. But ultimately, the advice we provide, I think, is useful, regardless if you use our companies or our services. This expo community we're doing. Hey, Andres is behind the scenes. He's showing us, the little things in the bottom of the screen, and that's what he does. Andres is gonna show you the website for the expo community. Just a minute. Um, and this is it. This is the expo community website, and it is just resources and information tools for free for you guys. The only thing here that is not gonna be for free, and I'll tell you what's that, and it's only, we don't know how much is that gonna be, but it's gonna be maybe $20, is the expat community book. So we can go with every tab. Let's go up. And then, you see the tabs on top, you have the expat community news. And then what we do with the expat community news is we look for local news, translate those local news for Panama, Costa Rica, Mexico. We take the time to translate this local news and send those news in English. So local news in Costa Rica or Panama or Mexico are going to be in Spanish. So you would not understand. So Andres, the gentleman who is behind the screen, he's taking care of this process of going through different local news, translating those news and sharing those out on a newsletter on Friday. But as we go every day, he will start posting the news. So he finds something on Monday or Wednesday, he translates that, he uploads the news, but on Friday you get an email memo with a summary of all of these different news that we're translating. So that's the expat community news. The next step is it's a free service, so you guys stay informed of what's happening in Costa Rica, Panama, Mexico. We're soon going to start in Spain. In fact, we got invited to be part of a podcast to talk about Spain. Like, I don't know anything about Spain really, but out of the perspective of helping people move abroad and intercultural challenges, I do have a ton of experience. I've seen it all. So yeah, I got invited for a podcast. It's called Travel Money from Nicole. She's got a great Instagram audience. So we're soon going to be doing some content for Spain. Now, Andres, let's go to the next step. Oh, Andres got disconnected. But anyway, you see in the expat community website a lot of resources. So the first one is news. The second one that we're doing is a podcast, which is this type of interaction where we have a live stream or we have an interview. Just this week, this is the third recording. This is live, but we have one on Wednesday about a debate about real estate buying versus building in Costa Rica, and on every Wednesday we also do Spanish classes, and it's a live streaming. So this is part of the expat community podcast where we are live streaming content. And this Spanish classes is we're doing very well on Wednesday. That's every Wednesday at 3:30 we have this Spanish classes. And this is if you want to go back to the recordings, you can go to the website /podcast, and you see interviews and information content for the expat. I mean, with all of these expat leaders from Spain to Portugal to Costa Rica to Panama. It's a lot of information we're providing. The next step, I believe, is book. So we have the next step is group. So basically, we're partnering with the Facebook expat groups, and now we have partnerships with expat groups in Facebook in Costa Rica, Panama, Nicaragua. We're looking for a partner in Mexico. If you know an admin that runs an expat group in Mexico, we want to partner with you guys to provide and to have your community interact with all this content. So that's the expat community group. For Costa Rica, Sarah Elena has been helping us for. And we now have also Jeremy Free, who's got another large expat group in Costa Rica. He's not in this tab yet, but we'll put his link in this tab as well. So, Jeremy, thank you so much as well for helping us with your group, interacting and sharing all this content with your group. Now, the next tab is leaders, where we have the profiles of some of the leaders. So, if you are, basically helping, you have interest in the community, you're helping the expats move to Costa Rica, to Panama, wanted to make a nicer and smooth transition, then the expat leaders, this is a spot for you. We get together to do many things, including meetings, meetups. Oh man, I forgot to tell you about this. So we have a meetup uh, with some of the expat leaders in Costa Rica, in Tamarindo. This is in the north region of the country here in Costa Rica. Very popular expat town, Tamarindo, Costa Rica. And this is going to be super. We have partnered with Matt from Costa Rica. Matt, he has a YouTube channel. After this, we will have a video interview in his YouTube channel from Costa Rica. Matt, he's sponsoring 50 drinks or 50 coffees for that date. International relocation partner as well. We are sponsoring another 50 beers on December. This is on December the 7th, where we're gonna have this. Here we go. So December the 7th at 4:30, from 4:30 to 6:30 in Tamarindo, at the Surf Shack. We have also Zach Harvey, who's gonna be playing his saxophone, live music. So we have live music happening, free drinks for the first 100 people that shows up at the Surf Shack, which is this nice bar restaurant that is walking distance from the ocean. So we're doing this. We also have another sponsor. Her name is Becca, and Becca, she teaches people how to learn English. But she's got a different approach. She want to help the local to teach him English so he can better serve the expat. So I love that idea, and she's also helping us with that. And the Surf Shack is this local surf style, restaurant bar from some of my customers, which I moved a year and a half ago. Peter and Roxana getting together to make this happen. So these are some of the things that the expat community is doing. We're hoping to do very same things in Panama, in Mexico, Portugal, and Spain, and we're growing and growing and growing. And therefore, please share with others what we're doing. Now let's have Daniel here. Daniel, how are you? Daniel, he was in our last interview about investing in Costa Rica and real estate and construction. So he was our interview. And John has got lots of more questions. And for that, we'll have to sit down, John, because we have been 24 minutes live, and we have another interview in Matt Rosenberg channel. So if you can look for this, and maybe Andres can help me put it on the screen. So Costa Rica Matt this is his YouTube channel. Maybe you can help me put it on the screen. We're gonna have a live interview in his channel, talking about what we're doing for the community, for the expat community. He's local for Costa Rica. And he has this amazing YouTube channel with a lot of insight about Guanacaste, Tamarindo, Potrero, all of those areas, and that's what we're doing next. So our time is about to expire. Anyway, thank you so much. We'll be doing this every Friday, 10 a.m., 10:30. We're connecting with other people. So if you want to be part of these Q&A sessions and help be a leader for this community, we also love to hear from you. Thank you so much, and we'll see you until the next time. And before we go, we're going to play on the screen some of the sponsors and people who are making this reality. These sponsors are here because they are willing to help. They're not paying money. They're willing to help for the community. It's not about they are advertising. It's about they're willing to be part of a community, helping, looking for things looking for things to do for the community, helping the local community. So this is why they are here. Thank you so much. Let's see the expat leaders, and we invite you guys to become one of these expat leaders and help others make this amazing transition to their dream destination, Costa Rica or Panama. To me, it's an honor to help you guys. I see you guys how you are making your dreams come true, and it's an honor. It's just, I feel like I'm being a friend to someone that needs help in a very specific time, and that fills my heart. Thank you so much. See you until see you at the YouTube channel of Matt, Costa Rica Matt. You can look for him. Costa Rica Matt will be in YouTube, and it's also be going to be sharing the link on our Facebook web in my Facebook and International Relocation Partner Facebook. So that's happening in 30 minutes at 11:30.